Recently, when watching TV in South Korea, one notices a conspicuous badge on the chests of lawmakers from the largest opposition party, Cooperative Democratic Party of Korea TIG. Black and yellow radiation symbol looks like an eerie image of a dead fish, half submerged in a yellow sea, and the words, "No to contaminated water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant," are written on the badge. The badge, created by the General Task Force for preventing marine dumping of contaminated water from Fukushima nuclear power plant within the Democratic Party, is often worn by Democratic Party of Korea lawmakers when they appear on TV. The intention must be to inform the Korean public of the dangers of releasing treated water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant. However, the inconsistency of words and deeds of some bitchy lawmakers has been coming to light one after another, and they are now being ridiculed and criticized by the South Korean public. The week of September 28th was the Chuseok holiday in South Korea. A record number of Koreans are said to have traveled to Japan during this Korean version of Golden Week, and it was discovered that Kim Nang-ik, a former Democratic Party of Korea bitchy member, was among those who actively participated in the No to Contaminated Water from Fukushima nuclear power plant movement. Rep. Kim Nang-ik is a dual-educated lawyer who became an official Democratic Party candidate in Ansan, Gyeonggi-do, a metropolitan area with a strong Democratic Party base, and became a member of the National Assembly in 2020. He has many appealing poverty episodes, such as, "In my early days as a lawyer, it was difficult to earn even 1 million, about 100,000 yen, a month. I had to eat cup noodles from convenience stores to save money for insufficient living expenses. And I have worn sneakers with holes in them for 3 years." Episodes. And while sharing his own stories of hardship, he has created the image of a common man politician who can empathize with the suffering of the youth, the most economically vulnerable group in today's Korean society. In May of this year, however, his image as a popular politician was shattered when a report in the Chosun Ilbo revealed that he owns crypto assets worth 6 billion won. When prosecutors began investigating the illegality of investing in crypto assets, public opinion turned against him, and he left the DICHEG and became an independent member of the National Assembly. Nevertheless, he has since kept pace with the DICHEG, presenting himself as strongly opposed to the release of treated water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. He did not show up at the Diet session to avoid the press and cameras, but carried a no to ocean dumping of Fukushima contaminated water picket with his supporters in his constituency at the time the Diet session was in session. On his Facebook page, he criticized experts, saying, "Some physicists and engineers are ignorant of ocean ecology, ignorant of the human body, or have abandoned their conscience and are saying that there is no problem, because the Fukushima contaminated water will be diluted in the ocean," and added, "Japan's discharge of Fukushima contaminated water may destroy the reproductive cells of children." He has been appealing to the Korean people about the dangers of releasing Fukushima-treated water, sharing the baseless discourse that the discharge of Japan's Fukushima contaminated water may destroy the reproductive cells of the offspring, causing a decline in reproductive function and the development of deformities in the offspring. Now he was reportedly spotted in Ginza, a tourist spot in Tokyo, during the autumn evening holidays. What was he doing in Japan, a country supposedly contaminated by radiation? According to the Chosun Ilbo on October 3, a local eyewitness testified that Kim, carrying a backpack, was waiting at a traffic light at the intersection of Ginza subway station on October 1, when he used his smartphone to take pictures of the Ginza Mitsukoshi department store, a luxury department store in Tokyo, and the clock tower of the iconic Weiku building in Ginza. He was said to have been taking pictures of the clock tower of the Ginza Mitsukoshi department store and the iconic Weiku building in Ginza. According to witnesses who saw Councillor Kim, his appearance was not unlike that of a tourist visiting Tokyo for the autumn evening. When the Chosun Ilbo checked with the senator's secretary's office for confirmation, Kim's aides reportedly replied that the senator had gone there on his own schedule during the autumn evening vacation period, and that we were unaware of it. Immediately after the report, Kim explained on his Facebook page that his trip to Japan was in conjunction with his scheduled political activities, including a meeting with his supporters that he had already promised to attend, and that he was covering all expenses for the trip at his own expense. At the same time, it is regrettable that the Chosun Ilbo reported his visit to Japan as if it was a contradiction of words and deeds, assuming that opposition to the discharge of contaminated water from Fukushima was anti-Japanese. It is an unreasonable criticism aimed at hurting the movement against the discharge of contaminated water from Fukushima. However, Kim's actions would be a complete mismatch of words and deeds from the public's point of view. He made a big deal about the radioactive contamination of Japan caused by the treated water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, as if the whole country was in serious trouble, but he was on a personal trip to Japan. The question naturally arises, what on earth was he eating when he went to Japan? Question naturally arises, what on earth did he eat when he went to Japan? Another incident that shows the inconsistency between the words and deeds of the Dicche lawmakers occurred on June 30 at the National Assembly. On that day, with the ruling party, the People's Power, out of office, the National Assembly of South Korea adopted a resolution to withdraw the discharge of contaminated water from Fukushima into the ocean, with only the opposition parties, including the ruling Democratic Party of Korea. However, at this time, the content of a conversation that Vice Speaker of the National Assembly Kim Youngju of the Cooperative Democratic Party, who was sitting in the House, had with an acquaintance via a smartphone messaging application, was caught on camera by a newspaper, shocking the public. The following words lined up on the screen of Kim's smartphone. In areas like Saikoa, Be, Furano, and Obihiro, there are fewer Koreans tourists, so you can play golf, and you can drive from Cheto's airport in about 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think the safest place to go would be Saikoa. During the rest of my free time, I would like to maximize the number of places where I can enjoy good restaurants and shopping. In response, Vice Chair Kim sent a reply saying, the guide is available for 4 days and 3 nights starting July 18, and he is asking me to send him the cost. From the content of the letter, it was clear that he was planning a trip to Japan for his vacation. Just a week earlier, Vice Chairman Kim had vehemently criticized Wade Ellison, Professor Emeritus of Physics at Oxford University, who had insisted at a roundtable meeting organized by the Korea Atomic Energy Commission that it was safe to drink a liter of treated water from Fukushima, saying that he had made many pro-Japan statements in the past. He has made many pro-Japan statements in the past. He is also the same person who, in the name of the people of Korea, has expressed his earnest desire to protect the seas of the Republic of Korea from the dangers of radiation, saying, the situation in the vicinity of Fukushima is so serious that cesium has been detected in marine products more than 9 times the standard level. When it was revealed that the person who had been stressing the dangers of Fukushima treated water had secretly asked a guide to take him on a trip to Japan for golf and gourmet food, avoiding the eyes of Koreans in Japan, he received national condemnation, and Vice Chairman Kim apologized for exchanging private emails during a plenary session, but made no mention of his Japan travel plans. He made no mention of his Japan travel plans. Dangerous treated water is just a mouthful. Lee Jae-myung, a representative of the ruling Democratic Party of Korea Dicche, also once caused a stir when it was revealed that he had enjoyed fresh sashimi for lunch the day before his hunger strike. At the time, in response to the ruling party's criticism, the Dicche responded, "What do you accuse us of having to do with stopping the discharge of contaminated water and eating sashimi? Even today, there are signs all over the streets of South Korea that read, 'You eat the cesium-soaked Black Sea bream. If the contaminated water from Fukushima is safe, you should drink it. Dumping contaminated water into the ocean is radioactive terrorism, and ocean dumping of contaminated water is radiation terrorism.' The same people who blatantly stirred up public anxiety are now doing the exact opposite of what they claim. In the end, it can be said that their words and actions ironically prove by their own actions that Korean seafood has not been contaminated by the release of treated water, from the Fukushima nuclear power plant, and that Japanese seafood is extremely safe.